Good morning, everybody. High Mileage Rider here. Who wants to go test ride a Harley-Davidson motorcycle today? Let's get going.
Okay, everybody, here we are at Barnes Harley-Davidson Test Ride Days. Now, this is not test rides put on by Harley-Davidson, the corporation. This is just put on by Barnes. These are bikes they have. They're all 2023s that they are going to have for sale after this. So a shout out to Barnes Harley-Davidson for putting on such a great event. As you can see, we got Heath here as well. He's riding a Road Glide. I've got the Road Glide Limited. So, let's go. Okay, so here we are getting ready to head out on the Road Glide Limited 2023. You know, the one thing I always have a hard time getting used to is the right and left turn signals on either side. But it's like anything, you just get used to it. So we're going to keep the radio off and not play with the GPS and all that stuff on this ride. This is going to be just a first ride, test ride impressions of the bike. So I'm not going to list a lot of the specs. You can look those up on the good old interwebs and Google. We've got the local hog chapter leading us out on these rides and helping out, which is awesome. This is going to be a pre-prescribed route. Which means we're going to be following riders in the front and riders in the back. So you can't slow down and then slingshot up to the front or do any shenanigans, as we like to call it. I will give you some specs on this bike, ones that are pertinent to the test ride. Well, I tell you, first impressions are this bike really does handle well at low speed. It's a little bit of an effort to get it off the side stand, as all bikes are that are of this size. But it really does, it handles nicely at slow speeds. Little bit of gravel. So the 2023 Road Glide Limited has a seat height of 735 millimeters, so it's nice and low. It'll be friendly to people of all heights. I'm 6 feet tall, and I've got a 34-inch inseam. Unfortunately, I'm weighing about 210 pounds these days. Oh, that motor wants to go, boy. This has the 114 cubic inch. And that for us lay people is about 1,868 cc's. And this motor is putting out 93 horsepower and 166 newton meters of torque. I'll let you guys do the conversion to foot-pounds. It's a gorgeous day for a test ride. It's already like 15, 16 degrees at 11 in the morning. Yeah, this bike handles really nice at low speed. I'm here crawling at 8, 10 kilometers an hour. Very nice clutch engagement, easy to find that friction point. We're not sure what the route's going to be, but it looks like we're going to be heading out onto the highway right away. So this 2023 Road Glide Limited has a 22.7 liter gas tank, which will get you some good miles in between stops. And as I said, it's a 735 millimeter seat height. This Road Glide Limited's got 18-inch wheels on the front and back, and it rolls very nicely. I really do like the gauge layout on a Road Glide. I love having the analog gauges on the bottom, and then your TFT display in the middle, with on either side having your volts and, of course, your fuel. And I'm sure if you were to play with the TFT screen, you would be able to see all of the distance till empty and such. So unfortunately, our highways in Alberta, close to Edmonton anyways, are not great as far as smoothness. There's quite a few potholes. Now this bike has 2.1 inches of rear suspension travel, and it's been a while. It's been a few years since I have ridden a Harley Davidson, and you know, over that rough patch there, it was pretty nice. I like this handlebar setup. I like the height and the distance for me as a 6-foot rider with a 34-inch inseam. I'm not having to stretch for anything. I'm sitting in a really nice, relaxed position. This seat is really, really comfortable. I'm not sure what seat this is. I know they do have different options available for moving you forwards, moving you back. Oh, we're going to be split up from the group here, but that's no problem. One of our riders from the back will move up, and there he is, to become our new lead until we meet up again. My initial thoughts on the wind protection on this bike are it's pretty darn good. It's much better than I thought it was going to be. My buddy Ken has a Road Glide, but he's got the shorter windshield on the front. And this little bit taller clear windshield provides really good wind protection. On the highway there, we were going at 120. I would have to say, compared to my Goldwing, there's a little bit more wind on my upper body, shoulders, chest. Obviously, my Goldwing is also a frame-mounted fairing. And speaking of that, obviously the biggest difference between the Street Glide and the Road Glide is the Batwing fairing, which is mounted onto the forks and it turns with the handlebars, versus the Road Glide, which has the frame-mounted fairing, so that you turn the handlebars and the fairing stays straight ahead. So a much lighter steering feel, much less input needed to do turns, and I would suppose that it actually makes it better handling at low speeds. Wow, this 114 motor is fantastic. Oh, we got a bicyclist up there. Oh, it gives you guys a chance to see our beautiful Alberta scenery. little windy of a day. I think I'd much rather be on this motorcycle than on a bicycle. So yes, back to wind protection. The Road Glide Limited has these wonderful lowers, which have little compartments in them in order to give you some extra storage. Some of them are lockable, some of them are not. There are 2 compartments in the front of the fairing as well. Gives me really good lower body protection. It is a very windy day, though, to be fair. And I'm not in any way saying the wind protection is not good. It is good. And you can see from these roads, these are pretty bumpy, pretty pothole filled. And the bike is handling them very, very nicely. This motor, oh my gosh. If you could see the smile on my face right now, this motor is really, really nice. This 114. So, for 2023, you get the LED front headlights. You get LED rear tail lights, rear signals, and a LED rear brake light. The front signals are still the halogens. This one has smoked lenses. For such a big bike, it is very nimble. This weighs in at 960 pounds wet, ready to ride. Pulling it off the side stand, you notice that weight. But once you are moving, that weight just disappears. This is really nice. There's a huge difference to me in the ride and feel between my buddy Ken's 2011 Road Glide and this 2023, which obviously there should be. That's, 12 years of further development in the motorcycle. Wow, I could definitely see myself riding one of these with my wife. Looks like it has quite luxurious passenger accommodations, very similar to my Goldwing. Lots of storage, and of course, if you chose to, you would be able to put a trailer hitch on and pull a trailer. So this bike, with this big motor, this 114, Harley has it written down as getting 5.4 liters per 100K. I'll let you figure out the miles per gallon. It's probably like 40, 45 miles per gallon, roughly. And there you go. There's a Ultra Limited in front of me, so you can actually see what the LED rear turning lights look like and the brake light. It's got the light bar across the back of the trunk, just like my Goldwing. So we may not do a full legal stop here so we can keep the group together. And you know what? This is a stock Harley Davidson. Previous Harleys I've ridden that were stock had very subtle engine noise because of course you would have to upgrade the pipes. So I don't know if they have upgraded the pipes on this bike already. I'll have a look when the test ride is over, but these sound fantastic. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it or not, but with the sound coming through the video, but it sounds great. So what else can we talk about? We talked about the seat height, seat comfort. We talked about the ergonomics of the handlebars, the distance to the fairing. We talked about wind protection. Oh, I know I didn't talk about. This bike has floorboards. And If you've ever watched any of my older videos riding the Kawasaki Voyager or my Nomad 1700, I love floorboards. The problem with a lot of companies that make them is they make them small. I have a size 11 boot, and being able to get inside the heel-toe shifter is usually a problem. These floorboards are nice and big. They're at least size 11, the size of my foot. Now, this bike does not come with a heel-toe shifter. You only get the toe shifter. But that is something that is an option, because Harley is the king of having options for their bikes. I hear that this also has a killer stereo and nav system, but again, we're not using that. One, I don't want to take my attention from riding a new motorcycle, but two, that leans over pretty good. Oh, that sounds awesome. Oh, the grin on my face. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The only downside I could see to this motorcycle is the cost. Now, being fair, if you're looking for a Harley Davidson, you don't care what it costs, because it is going to cost more than every other motorcycle in the same spectrum of bikes. You know, if you're looking at this, you're looking at an Indian Challenger, you're looking at a Goldwing Tour, you're looking at a Yamaha Star Venture, Kawasaki Voyager, you're looking at those class of bikes. So, you know, the Yamaha Star Venture is $32,000 out the door. A new Goldwing is $32,000, $33,000 out the door. The Kawasaki Voyager, being much older in the tooth and not having anywhere the technology, is $20,000 out the door. And this bike here with this paint job would be $47,000 out the door. The base price is $37,000 on the Harley website in Canada. And to that, they add their HDMC fee, their freight fee, so the HDMC fee, is $800. The freight fee is $15.99. The documentation fee is $4.99. This paint job, this two-tone gray and blue paint job, is a $4,500 option. So what does that put us at? $36,500, $37,000, $41,000, $44,000 before tax, and it's about $2,600 of tax. So yeah, you're all of $47,000 out the door. And that would be with a 1-year warranty from Harley Davidson. One thing that Harley Davidson is doing this weekend is their normal interest rate to buy a new Harley is 10.99% in Canada. So for this weekend, they're offering 3.99 for those people that would need to finance their dream machine. So only you guys in the comments can let me know if you think that the $47,000 is a reasonable price for the motorcycle. I think it's like anything. If you're looking at buying a boutique, higher-end car, motorcycle, boat, plane, whatever it happens to be, you're going to have to pay for it. I, unfortunately, cannot afford that much money, or don't want to spend that much money on a bike that I can only ride for 5 to 6 months of the year. But if money was not an option, from this initial test ride and my first impressions, I would have this bike. This is a beautiful bike. This thing leans beautifully. It tips in nice, holds its line. I know on paper it says it only has 32 degrees of lean angle, but it feels like it's more. I know it's not, but it feels like it's more. And this motor, oh my God. It wants you to rip it, baby. I would need a radar detector. That's all I'm saying. Because that sound would become intoxicating. Yeah, everything on this bike is set up perfectly for me. Just the way it is. I don't need to adjust the seat, the handlebars, my leg position. The windshield is good. I would say the wind management is decent. It's not as good as my Goldwing, but it's good. Not uncomfortable at all. And I should raise this caveat, I do ride with an adventure helmet, whether I'm riding my adventure bike or my Goldwing. So they do tend to catch a little bit more air than a standard full face helmet. And as you can see, there's Barnes Harley Davidson there. We are just coming to the end of our test ride. Everybody's lining up their formation again. This has been a beautiful way to spend a Saturday morning. The last Saturday morning in April of 2023. I'm sad this ride's over. I've just gotten used to the turn signals. I would have loved to have also gone out on the Ultra, but unfortunately there are a lot of people signed up to ride today, so this will be the only bike I get to ride. I hope you guys have enjoyed this test ride and first impressions. And in case there's any doubt, you should, if you're looking for a big cruiser touring bike, you should ride this bike. It is amazing. Only you can decide if it's worth the money, but as a motorcycle, this is a beautiful, beautiful motorcycle. I would have one. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, hitting that notification bell so that YouTube lets you know when we have new videos coming out. And remember, keep that right hand cranked and the rubber side down. We'll see you in the next video.